All right. It's that time. It's time for Beyond Sight and Sound. Let's do this.
Are you looking for a high-quality beach and sand scoop? Are you trying to take your hunting to the extreme? How about an American-based company that stands behind their product and everything they sell? Then check out our friends over at XTREME Scoops. John has been making scoops for some time now and makes a quality beach and sand scoop to take your hunting to the next level. XTREME Scoops recently released their new sand shredder that works great in the water and on the beach. And if you're a new Equinox user, you may want to check out his Surfmaster X3 that can trap those small targets you new Equinox users are finding out there. XTREME Scoop's company approach is let's do it right. So do it right, buy it once, and go to the extreme. XTREMEScoops.com. That's XTREME scoops.com. Caution. Please do not operate motor vehicles or power equipment while under the influence of this show. Listening to this show could cause side effects such as bouts of laughter, violent binges of cabin fever, and even dreams of silver and gold. Please be advised. Now that the fine print is out of the way, on with the show. All right, we're back and we're live once again. You are listening to Beyond Sight and Sound, metal detecting and treasure hunting radio for all the really cool digging people out there. And I saw that post, Bill, 16 degrees. Man, I'd like to be there, I do believe, because we're looking at 6 below with the wind chill right now in my neck of the woods. It's cold. It's very cold. Actually, it downright sucks. It's wreaking havoc here. Temperatures that cold are definitely no good. It's not, It's not weather fit for man or beast, it seems like, so we're staying indoors. Definitely. And we see that Chuck is, he's on the mend yet. He's getting better. He's lost the fever, but apparently he's still battling the cold, so hopefully, he does get to feeling better. At least he's on the path to recovery. Definitely. Oh, great. That's just no luck. No luck at all, Bill. I see that. Sorry to hear that. So anyway, the Bills are in, Barb's in, Chuck's in, the mics are in. Let's see here. Wednesday, they're calling for 17 degrees in Orlando, Florida. Wow. Okay. So, let's see here. Welcome to Barb. Welcome to, Steve. Looks like they're dropping in. So if I've missed anybody, I'll scan through here real quick and look. Looks like we're doing good. Yeah, that is real cold for the Orlando area. I don't know what they're going to do about that stuff. If it's getting down to that in the Orlando area, then Mark's breaking out his emergency stick of firewood. I'm sure. Oh, and I can't recall. I do believe, for those that are members of the Metal Detecting Central Illinois group, I do believe Mike still currently, I want to say currently, maybe not, he may have a contest going. You just never know. He keeps you on your toes over there. I know I saw it, last night, I want to say. I think it was last night. It might have been tonight, although I doubt it. Tonight we got a little bit of a late start here. I was busy scanning some images, and somehow through the wonders of technology, I've moved them to get them to another device. And I don't know. I don't know where they went. They're in limbo. We're trying to figure it out. Hopefully we do get it figured out here soon. Okay. The I&I, it's over in the I&I group, and that contest ends tonight. So, may want to go and check that out. Welcome to Ambient Relic Girl. So we've got Nancy in the house. Okay. Yeah. All right. Mike's setting me straight in the chat. The one I was talking about is Metal Detecting Central Illinois. It is still currently running. There is a contest in the I&I group as well, though, but it does end tonight. So we've got all that figured out. Speaking of contests, the appreciation contest, obviously, the recurring appreciation contest still continues. If you've got those photos of the Beyond Sight and Sound swag, make sure to post it up in the Metal Detecting Beyond Sight and Sound group in the proper thread and get yourself entered, because probably, I don't know, either the end of this month, beginning of next month, somewhere around there, we'll be drawing another round there for a couple of lucky winners. Definitely. All right, links in the description. Our friends over at Shooters. Oh, welcome to Jesse. Who can forget him? Welcome aboard, buddy. Good talking the other night. Links in the description. First and foremost, our friends over at Shooters and Prospectors. Chuck Smalley, the man with the plan, the dealer of choice, a multi-line dealer dealing in XP, Note to Macro, Garrett, MindLab, DetectEd, Detector Pro, and more. Up to and including the covers that we've been talking about recently. Good covers, definitely. Cedar River Digging Tools is another product that he carries. He does like to support those locally operated businesses, you could say, which is great, especially when it's good products. Definitely. Our friends at Detectures, Ken, Mark, Darth, Buddy, and the gang doing a great job. Our friends at XTREME Scoops, TheRingFinders, XP Team USA website, podcast, Facebook group. Our friends at All Metal Militia, DetectEd Outdoors YouTube. Our friends at Metal Detecting NYC, YouTube, Facebook, Ohio Metal Detecting on YouTube. Brute Magnetics. And the Simplex raffle. I didn't miss it this time. Did not miss it this time. $5 a ticket. Obviously, get yourself a chance at getting one of the most talked about machines at this current point in time. They do seem to be very nice machines, very affordable machines, yet still getting the job done, as you see by posts from some of the nomads. Definitely a good little machine there. Money well spent if you purchase a ticket. Well, especially if you purchase a ticket and win. If you purchase a ticket and don't win, if you plan on attending the I&I hunt in June, it's still money well spent. Because that raffle does go, the proceeds from that raffle does go towards helping it goes towards the I&I hunt. Yeah, we'll put it that way. A balmy 40 degrees in Montana. Wow. I'd love to see the 40s right now. I really would. Definitely would be nice. I don't know. I'm not sure if any of the others have put in their temperatures or not, but it's cold. It is definitely cold. So yes, don't forget the Simplex raffle, $5 a ticket. Yes, you can purchase them online. It is available to anyone and everyone. $5 a ticket. The massively large post of links that I put in the chat at the beginning of the episode, you will be able to find it there. Look for Simplex raffle. Take that link. That will take you directly to the original post on Facebook. Yes, I'm sorry. You have to have a Facebook account to find the information, the breadcrumb trail. But that's all right. Or if you're someone like Bob or Fred, one of the people who do not interact on Facebook, I'm sure all you've got to do is reach out to me and I can get that information to you. But the information at that link will show you where to send the money, what to do to get your tickets in for the Simplex raffle. You can't beat it. Can't beat it. Looks like they are still, from what I'm picking up in the chat, looks like they are still working towards getting everything in check, getting all the ducks in a row for the I&I hunt. We should be able to share more about that. I'd say somewhere probably around beginning to middle of February would be fairly safe to assume. They're just trying to get everything finalized before they put the flyer out there. Once the flyer's out, we will be sharing it around. We'll carry the link for it here in the show, in the description. We'll also have that shared to the Dirt Pirates upcoming events page, the Beyond Sight and Sound page, which for those that follow the Beyond Sight and Sound page, the Simplex raffle is currently the pinned post on the Beyond Sight and Sound page and floats somewhere around near the top of the Metal Detecting Beyond Sight and Sound Facebook group. So there's ways you can find the information. Definitely. But yeah, that way, so there isn't a lot of editing or anything like that going on. We're just waiting to get everything finalized so that the flyer can be done once and only once and out there for everyone to see. Let's see here. Chuck wants to know if the folks here are looking to get One ASAP. Looks like they're talking about the Vanquish. Looks like Chuck may be getting ready to get his hands on some of them. We'll see what transpires from that. Looks like it's going to be a good machine. For price point, I don't know. Minelab kind of might have missed the boat on that, not making it a waterproof machine. I'm sure anymore at this point, the day and age that we're at in technology, many of us are more than willing to pay a few extra bucks to have that waterproof capability. Doesn't mean there's not a purpose for it, though. It seems to be a very good machine. And based on what we've seen with the multi-IQ from Minelab in the Equinox, it's doing well. I'm sure it will do well. So we'll see what happens. I see that comment about the Vanquish in there, Mike. That's good. That's good. But hey, you know, the important part is to find a machine that works for you. Find a machine that works in your hunting style, your environment, your situation. Find what works for you. Whether that's a Minelab, an XP, a Garrett, a Bounty Hunter, you know, Fisher, Technetics. Find what works for you. I've seen people, Mike included in the chat, you know, that do very, very well with a Bounty Hunter machine. So just because it may be a brand or model of machine that you may not be familiar with, or that you are possibly manipulated or led to believe that it could be an inferior machine for you, doesn't necessarily mean that it is. Sometimes you've just got to give it its fair shake and see what happens. You know, in recent years, a lot of people were a little unfamiliar with Note to Macro, but many of them have tried their machines, Simplex included, and thought that they were, you know, really outstanding machines. I've had guys that they've used Bounty Hunters that really, they've made some great finds. They loved the machine. And you try to switch them over to, well, one example, a guy I knew, he was running a Bounty Hunter. He was doing very, very well with it. Actually, one of the best barber dimes I've ever seen dug, he did with a Bounty Hunter. And I tried to switch him over to a Whites to let him try that for a while, a DFX. I tried to switch him over to a Garrett, let him try that for a while. And he didn't like them. It didn't suit him. He wanted his Bounty Hunter. That's what he knew. And I'm thoroughly convinced if that machine would ever completely quit working, I would almost guarantee he'll go out and buy the same exact model. Whether he has to find it used or whatever to get it. Because, quite frankly, he just knows the machine that well. So there's nothing wrong with that. There's still plenty of people out there running the Garrett Ace 250s that they just love them. Or the 150s. Me, I'll stick with the Minelabs, XP, Note to Macro. Things of that nature. They seem to be working quite well. Cannot complain. Let's see here. Looks like Mike even says that he loves his Bounty Hunter Quicksilver. Dug a lot of silver. And bullets. Nice. Very nice. Bob says he's going to stop getting new machines and continuing to learn the machines he has. Which that's sound logic, Bob. Some of these people, you see them buy a machine, they use it for 3 months, and then they turn around and they sell it, and they buy the next latest and greatest, hottest machine that's available. And realistically, that is no way at all to learn a machine. You haven't given yourself enough time with it at that point to learn that machine. I've heard people say before, oh, I've got 6 hours on this machine. I know it inside and out. No, you don't. You haven't given yourself enough time. How's it going, Chuck?
Oh, pretty good now. The cold's kind of subsiding, and we're managing it. But you know, it sets back to whatever they started with, whatever they got comfortable using. They learn how to use it. 90% of it is learning your machine. There are a few out there that I won't recommend, but you know how that goes. And I've seen some amazing finds from Garrett Aces.
Oh, yeah.
Bounty hunters. You know, some of those. Now, I haven't seen the 99.95 ones make many amazing finds, let me tell you.
Oh, no, yeah. I mean, even with a bounty hunter, you know, if you're going to make the purchase and go with a bounty hunter, not knocking them, but you're going to want to buy upper end.
Right. I mean, you know, there are machines out there. Jesse just made a comment about 3030 for 3 seasons, and he's still learning it. And there's a lot to learn about those machines, and there's a lot to learn about the DES.
Right. Very user-intensive menus. The DES, the CTX.
And then you get into some of the bounty hunters. You have some adaptability with them, and they do okay. But going back years ago, Don Finch has been posting quite a bit out of the history of the I&I Club, and there were pictures of old Compass on there, AH Pros, Bounty Hunter Red Box in the field out there. The older bounty hunters were not a bad starter machine. They were built tough too.
Yeah, they were built like tanks.
And they got picked up by Texas Instrument and this kind of stuff. So all that, you know, things change. But look, I'm seeing some of those machines there. I've still got an early white here, and I'm talking a 1973 model. And I wished I had my little backpacker from Pro. That was a nice little unit.
Right.
It all is how much time you put into it, what you learn, how to get it going, and you can step right up on the line on that stuff. And if you take care of them, they last you a long time.
Absolutely.
One of the things this time of year, make sure you put your stuff away correctly. Charge the batteries, get it out of the cold weather. They aren't made to be sitting out in below zero atmosphere, I'll tell you that.
Exactly, which is why I figured we'd run open lines about equipment maintenance tonight, because you got to treat them things like you want to be treated. Tonight, it's going to get down to somewhere between 10 to 15 below here with the wind chill. And
right.
I'm sure you wouldn't want to sit out in your vehicle all night. Most of your detectors don't want to either.
It's really tough on the faceplates, the screens.
Yes, it is.
I get 1 or 2 in the spring that call me and say, hey, I turned my machine on and I got a black screen. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Did you leave it out in the garage? Was it cold? Well, it wasn't that cold. Well, where you live? Well, I live up Minnesota. Okay, fine.
Yeah, it only got down to 22 below.
Yeah. So it does bad things to them.
Yeah. So now is the
I don't hang them up by the coil. You hang them by the body, let the coil stay flat. Hanging on the coil can stress it.
Yes, it can.
And things like that. And then the coil's not working in the spring. Fully charge the battery, put it away.
Yep, do your maintenance charge if it's got a rechargeable battery, if it's just running alkaline batteries or replaceable batteries, pull them things out. Don't leave them sit in there over the winter.
Right. Jesse needs new batteries himself, he says.
Well, I know how that can go. Yeah, definitely. And there again, like you said, Jesse's been running the CTX for 3 years now. When you're bringing that thing in out of the cold and doing your maintenance on it, wipe it down, clean it off, pull the batteries or charge them up, check your connections, check your seals, especially on the CTX.
Mm-hmm.
Or
and that's a good time to...
The AT Pros.
You can get a seal kit. Change them out. Make sure it's clean in there. No sand on the seals. Things like that.
Just clean your coil cover.
Pull that off and pull all the mud out that you build up underneath.
Yeah, a lot of people...
Makes a difference.
Yeah, it does. A lot of people are really surprised. They, they go to get back out there in the spring and start hunting, and they're wondering why their machine's acting all erratic, and they pull that coil cover off and see all that junk inside there. Well, It's no wonder that it's acting erratic.
Barb, you're going to have a bad surprise someday. You don't take those batteries out of the AT, you're going to go over there and find a leak one that's going to eat through the leads.
Yeah, that's not a good thing, Barb. Not a good thing at all. And protect your cable ends, too, if you can.
Yeah, don't dragging them down the highway don't count.
Right, that's not going to help matters either. But yeah, this is, I mean, when we get these, of course, by this point, my gear's already inside the house. So when we get this really cold weather like that, if you want to take a break from doing the research or something, hey, it's time for that detector maintenance. Check your screens, check your batteries, pull the batteries out if you can remove them, charge them back up, do a maintenance charge, check the seals, check the coil cover, all that good stuff.
Yep.
And especially when it comes to checking the seals.
Whether it's a $350 investment or a $2,500 investment, it pays to take care of it. And it's ready for you to get going in the spring. Check it over. If you find something that needs fixed, now's the time to do it.
Now's the time.
Yep,
because that's what we see. I'm sure, I hear stories about it every spring, it seems like, and I'm sure that you, being a dealer, hear stories about it every year where once the weather breaks and people are wanting to get out there hunting, now's the time that they find out, oh, my battery's leaked. I got to send this in for repair. What do I do? Or, man, I really wanted this new coil for my machine. Can you get me any? Well, everybody else is out hunting too. You should have called a little sooner, maybe.
Right. Well, Nelson says he doesn't use one. He's been lucky. He doesn't use coil covers. And usually, that's a cast resin over the top of all that. Usually it's pretty thick and that kind of stuff. But you can crack it, wear it. That's what that coil cover's for, protect it from that kind of stuff. And it's totally up to the user. And Garrett doesn't always ship with coil covers.
Right. And I've always kind of been one, I understand some people, they don't like to run the coil covers. They apparently think that it's going to cost them some depth or something like that. But I've never had a problem with it. I've always used coil covers, and the way I look at it is they're there for a reason. They're a sacrificial component to the machine, so you can really get out there and scrub the ground.
Right.
And it's a whole
And there's some new
cheaper
products coming out I was just told about, and that'll be pretty cool stuff here in the spring. And they've got new skins for the My Labs coming out that you can protect your 600s and 800s with, and maybe even up through the 3030. That'll snap onto the covers, protect that from being scratched and look cool. They're getting them in colors and camo and all kinds of stuff. So that'll be a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
New scoop, new lower units, lower shafts, folding shafts. There's a bunch of stuff coming down the pike I've been reading about and getting a few calls and see if I'm interested and that kind of stuff. But I said I'd be interested if I actually had one in hand so I can test it.
Right.
So I'm going to do it. Oh.
Well, that's true. And I think we've got Jesse on here with us now as well.
Yes, evening, Josh and Chuck.
Hey, Jess. Long distance.
Just to add to the things you might want to check, your pinpointer should be on your checklist.
That's
a couple
right.
Years ago, I was cleaning mine off. I noticed there was a small hairline crack towards the top where the battery cap would go on.
Is that the 35 or is that a...
That was a carrot.
Which one you got?
That was the diver, I think it was.
Oh, okay. I thought it was the carrot.
No, it was a Nocta. It still works, but I'll never be in a wet environment with it. But
right, with a hairline crack, your waterproof integrity is compromised now at this point.
Right, so that's now my backup for if the battery goes out in the ProFind 35 I got. But yeah, that's one thing you guys might want to check while you're at it. Clean everything up when you got nothing better to do.
Yep. And usually with those pinpointers, I'll even, maybe once a year, I'll take that end cap off of there and just kind of grease that O-ring a little bit.
Well, my big old man hands over-torqued the cap, I think, and stressed out the plastic. But on the housing itself.
You do have a viable point there. It is a very good possibility.
Yeah, but yeah, that's all, if you guys, drop it while you're out in the field or anything, that could start causing wear cracks. So that's just one thing to keep in mind while you're cleaning your equipment up. Don't forget your pinpointer.
Yeah, a lot of times, I'm sure with Chuck being into the firearms and stuff, he's definitely no stranger to rem oil, and a lot of times I'll even coat my diggers down in the winter with them.
That'll prevent the rust.
Right, exactly. I mean, some of us who aren't
diggers are hanging out in the man shed out there.
Some of us who aren't fortunate enough to be able to dig all year round, it never hurts to do a little bit of preventative maintenance on them.
But we were given a longer season than normal.
We were.
Not very often I get a dig in January.
Mm-mm.
Up here.
No, not very often at all, and I don't know. With these below zero wind chills and everything, I think we may be locked up for a while now.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Really
yeah, it was signaling the death throes last night. I don't know if Chuck had them or not, but we had frost quakes here last night. And
I heard one last night.
That's weird.
Nice pop.
Right.
Yep. Joe and I looked at each other. I walked outside. I'm looking around, just make sure nothing fell or hit the house. That's what it had to be, Jesse. We had one here, too.
Yep, we had 3 or 4. I thought it was ice popping on the roof, but no, everybody was hearing it. So, yeah, that groundwater freezes that fast and expands. And
exactly. Not a good thing. But hopefully that'll breathe some more life into the fields come spring.
Well, as long as I can get into the field this year, I have to use scuba gear to accomplish it.
Let's keep our fingers one, Jeff.
What's that, Chuck?
I said, let's keep our fingers crossed on no extended high waters.
Right. I don't want to deal with that again this year.
Yeah, I mean, last year out in Illinois, I think they were using pontoons for planting season.
Mm-hmm. They put pontoons on the planters.
Yep. It was a real mess out there. As a matter of fact, I think there were some fields out there in Illinois that they never really were able to plant this year, were they?
No,
Go ahead,
that
Jesse.
field that I took Chuck out to this year that we're looking at the Indian Village. All the ground around that area went fallow this year. There was no chance to even plant. So.
Yeah, I know at one point, I want to say over the summer, I think Chuck had even mentioned there was probably a good 15 miles of field along the Mississippi that you would normally see corn in, that there was nothing. I mean, farmers couldn't get in there.
Nothing but water up around Thompson, from Fulton to Thompson, out across to the old river bluffs. It stayed underwater all year.
Right.
None of those farms plant.
Yeah, that's not good at all. Hopefully we don't have a repeat of that this year.
That hurts.
Yes, it does.
Farmers badly.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, makes my job at work slow.
They got to buy them pickers, don't they?
Yep.
New ones.
Even the replacement parts for the old ones, that division is pretty slow this year too compared to the normal. So.
Right. John Deere's going to have to open up an amphibious line.
Down the pipe there, Jesse, for the hunt?
What's that?
Got anything exciting for me for the hunt?
Well, nothing exciting, but got some more of the
anything we can talk about
figured out.
Oh.
Well, if people are interested to know how much it is this year, we're doing different things with having sponsors and prize packs and all that, so the price will be up a little bit this year. But
now, I got to interrupt here first.
You're going to have a chance to win it.
I got to interrupt real quick first. For those, don't go getting all up at arms yet, because the price really didn't go up all that much. And the I&I event has been just every year it gets better and better and better and better. And I'm sure this year is going to be no exception. This is probably going to be the best one yet.
I'm hoping so.
I'm hoping so too.
We have NACA Macro sponsoring our biggest of the 3 hunts we do throughout the day. And we will most likely have detectors available through tokens to find out during the seated hunt. So it's not just silver and goody coins like that you're looking for, but there will be nice tokens out there as well that you turn in for prizes, and one of those might just be a real nice detector or few.
And one of our major sponsors this year, Calico. They're going to do the kids hunt.
There you go.
Yeah.
Nice.
They stepped up big, and what was it, 50 pinpointers for the kids?
Yeah, 50 pinpointers just for the kids hunt.
Wow, there's going to be a lot of happy kids this year. I mean, I remember the last time there were a couple of kids that had gotten pinpointers, and
there's no charge for the kids coming with their parents, whatever. None, zero. The kids hunt's free.
Right, and that's 12 and under.
Yep.
And I know last year there were a couple of kids that were just thrilled with the pinpointers they won, and that was only a couple of pinpointers, let alone 50.
And then the big news is the Bills from Ohio are coming.
Yes.
Hey, and I'll tell you, they are excited about it, and I know Jesse's excited too. Right. Matter of fact, I believe that was just earlier this week. I was talking with Jesse about that they were planning on coming. They were working out the logistics and everything. They were excited and looking forward to it.
And I know that another notable on our site here is going to try and make it there. I'm almost sure that Mike Laclamette's going to make it. They'll let him out of the asylum. He'll be up here rubbing elbows because it's not that far of a way to get there.
Well, if they don't let him out, maybe I'll just have to try to make my way that direction and break fence for him.
There you go, and we're hoping that Josh Kimmel's there. And Ohio Relic Hunter says he's wearing a bag over his head.
He's been known to do that a time or two.
Well, we'll know. Jesse and I'll know who's out there anyway, and Josh.
Right? Yeah, yeah. Of course, he does kind of stand out in a crowd. He's a pretty good-sized guy himself. Jesse and I had talked about that the other night. The other Bill,
room for you to detect.
yeah, the other Bill, though, on the other hand, you have to keep an eye out for him. He's liable to jump out from behind a blade of grass or something. He's pretty wiry.
So the thing about this hunt that we do is a non-competitive hunt. You go out, you hunt, you get your prizes, tokens. You aren't wrestling over stuff. There's no first, second, or third place. I think Tim Garton's coming back from Southwest Missouri, and he's bringing his relics up to see. I was talking to him the other day, and there's some other people talking to coming that'll have stuff there. Unfortunately, it doesn't sound like Ronnie DeGhetto's going to make it. So, some conflicts going on there. So, it's early enough where we haven't printed anything up yet, but right. He'll support us. And with that being said, that's good, but I don't think he's going to make it over from Jersey. He said that's kind of something come up and it conflicts, and so, that's the way it goes. And Andy Sabby, Charlene will be there. We got a few others we're waiting on hearing back from Garrett at this point on exactly what's happening there, so that's kind of held up some of the stuff coming out to you. So Jesse's kind of hanging there and going to hand some stuff out. Our hunt master, I'm doing the work of getting phone calls. I got to make sure we've got a room for the meet and greet. That's the only thing that's hanging up right now. We'll announce where that's at, along with everything else. And because the one place that we had before, they've changed owners and they've changed the way it's structured, so you can only have 90 in the room, period. That's not quite enough.
Yeah, that's a little on the small side, I would think, for expected attendance.
Right. And I know we had well over that the last time, and so we're trying to get that up. And it's the same venue. You'll have hot dogs, maybe. I don't know if they're doing brats. I know they're doing hot dogs, buns, condiments. Bring something else. It's kind of a potluck arrangement. Throw the food down on the table, everybody eat, listen to our speakers. I am pretty sure we'll have the Nomads, we'll have Van Boone up from Georgia, and the last I was told, the Lecta's coming.
Not to mention a couple of short classes from Andy for those that are interested.
That's right. So we'll have a lot going on for a one-day event. We'll keep you busy all day and hope you find a lot. You win a detector or you win a nice prize. And there'll be plenty there. There'll be a couple raffles going on. The club's not taking anything out of the monies that's going into the ground. They're going to raffle a couple items, and that's how they make a little side money to keep the club floating.
Nothing wrong with that at all. I mean, for those who have not attended one, whether you're there to hunt or not, you will have a good time. It's a great opportunity to meet people.
Meet and greet for 2 days. You get a hunt. You get to listen to some of our best in the industry talk. Shake hands, have a good time, and hopefully the monsoons hold off. They're over with, and we don't get a 3-inch rain right off the bat in the morning.
Yeah, that was a little rough the last time around.
So I couldn't put anything down. I had water running through the tent, about 4 inches deep.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's right. Everything was on top of the ground.
Okay. Ohio Relic Hunter. Jesse will have that posted up, how to send your entry money in. That'll be you can send it via check or PayPal, however you want to do it, and it goes to the I&I Club. Jesse will have that all explained.
Right. I'm sure all of that information will be included with the flyer when that drops, and we're just waiting on the flyer, basically, which I still got to... Actually, Jesse knows that I keep in contact with both him and Chuck to stay up to date on what's going on. I still got to get back to Jesse sometime, though, because I do recall I did promise up a couple of prices last year when we heard that it was coming back this year, and I do still have them put back. So I'm going to have to make sure and get with Jesse so he knows about that.
Oh, very cool.
So,
and we accept any. We still have some openings for donor sponsors. If anybody wants to get a name on there with us, you can be. Okay, Bill. You'll get the information where to send it to on Jesse's flyer when he gets it out there, buddy.
Yep, I told him that he will know as soon as I do. Or sooner.
I'm going to put out a post tomorrow with the majority of the details that we can concrete put out there
at
tomorrow.
That point.
But it's not the official flyer yet, but I want to get the info out on how much the hunts will be and how to get the money to us and get your name in and all that. So
and there's open hunting in the morning. We're going to stay around the park. It's a huge site. And then the hunts will go off, and the kids hunt, and the lunch, and people talking. The night before, they'll be talking. So, we'll keep you occupied, and it'll be a good time.
And this isn't, for those who may not realize, this isn't necessarily a newly built park or anything. This is a park that has some age to it. It's hosted quite a few venues, and there have been some nice finds pulled out of there. Natural finds.
Yes.
I recall of hearing a few the last time, yeah.
There's been large scents found in there. So, 1850s eras. So it was donated to the city of Galesburg by the Santa Fe Railroad. It was their lake to refill the steam engines coming through Galesburg. And this is a big lake. When you see that, they had to refill a lot of engines, but they gave them water flow down to the rail line to refill the engines. And that has been there since 1880, 1890.
Yeah, probably.
There's even been a live hand grenade found in that park.
Oh, my. I had not heard that one.
I didn't realize
that was
that
Josh.
Was the park that was
found it in the timber down along the lake in that park.
Wow. That's... I don't know if I'd want to be playing around with one of those. What a way to end the day with a bang, right?
That story, that made the newspaper down there. That was quite the story.
Wow, and you said that was Josh?
Josh, yeah.
Wow, I'm what?
Adrian and Josh.
That's what I thought.
Marsh.
Josh Marsh, yeah. Wow.
Yep, that was 3 years ago. But there's silver that comes up and rings that come up, and it's a beautiful spot. They got a swim beach, but the swim beach is closed to detecting wave that time of year.
There you go. Can't complain too much about that. I mean, it's a very good sized park. There's plenty of area to swing a coil.
Good campground, folks. Once we make the announcement, I suggest you get on the Lake Story site and try and reserve your camping spot, which is across the lake from the hunting spot.
Right, very good point. And I'm sure that information will also drop with the flyer for those who may be interested in camping.
Hotels, contact lists, that kind of stuff. Jesse's working on it.
Yeah, we were talking about that the other night because Jesse and I were both in agreement. We just, camping doesn't work so well for either of us.
No.
As Chuck can verify, people might think there's a bear in a tent. Where I can shake a house, so.
Yeah, I was going to say.
That long, Jesse. Your feet are sticking out.
I don't know anybody else who got kicked out of the room down at Montpelier for snoring, but I did it.
Yeah, I was going to say, in Jesse's case, it may not be that camping doesn't work so well for him. It's just camping doesn't work so well for everyone else if he's there.
True. That's true. Well, I'll tell you what, guys. It sounds like we got our plug-in for the hunt, and everybody talked about taking care of the detectors. I'm going to back out of here, and you guys have a great night, and hopefully that we have a short winter of it. At 6 weeks from now, we're out there digging.
Yeah, definitely. That would be very nice. And as me and Jesse had talked the other night, as more information becomes available, we will be able to cover it here on the show, let the listeners know. And, whenever whenever you or Jesse, either one, have any more announcements about it, we can always clear the floor for you and give you all the time you need.
Yep. And it sounds like almost every major manufacturer is making a detector donation or multiple detectors. It'd be good on it. There'd be a lot in the ground.
Or on it.
Yeah, that depends, folks. Don't be surprised if they're just lightly pushed into the ground. We have to protect the park.
Right.
And we do that. We do that with great zealous, because when you start getting 150 to 200, 225 hunters in the spot, it gets kind of rugged. So everybody have a good night.
All
You
right.
too, Chuck.
Thanks for the call, Chuck.
Hey, thanks for having me. Talk to you later, Jess. Bye-bye.
And the last time around, Jesse, can you recall how many people were in attendance? I want to say somewhere around 160, 180?
I want to say it was right around 170 there at the same park that we're going to, but we had torrential downpours that held a lot of people off from coming.
Yes, that did hurt attendance there early on, but there were still people were still coming in after the rains had let up, and you picked up a few more attendees that way. And I would have to assume that we can expect just as much, if not more, in attendance this year. Actually, it'll probably be more.
Yeah, there's more to offer. That's going to bring more people. It's going to be a big event. We did a smaller one the year afterwards. That was my first year as official hunt master, and we kind of kept it more local for the club members.
Right.
And
Well, you kind of had some things on your plate too.
Well, at that time I didn't. Some, but not, I didn't have the medical issues or anything. That's why last year we just kind of took a year off from it.
Right. We were very excited to hear last year that they were bringing it back. Definitely.
Yeah, I'm glad to be in a position where I can help put a hunt on. And like I said, Chuck does the hard work. He has to talk to people. That's not my thing. But
well, you do just fine here. Speaking of which, actually, we've got a guy on here you may have talked to before. Mike's on with us.
I am? Well, hello. Hi. Oh.
You are.
Hi, Mike.
How you
Long
doing?
time, bud. How you doing?
Doing okay. Better now. I tell you, this weather, as the temperature fluctuates, if you graft it, my sinus also fluctuates with that chart. It's like a roller coaster, one day I'm plugged up, the next day I can breathe. So
for me, it's the level of attempted pain tolerance.
That's just on top of my arthritis and other things.
Right. Well, the way it sounds here, you're fixing to kind of cut fence there at the asylum and make the hunt, hopefully.
Oh yeah, I'll pick the locks and get out, sneak out if I have to the night before.
There
if you
go.
need a getaway driver, let me know.
Yeah, it's on the weekend, so
Right.
The warden's always gone on the weekend. So
We'll just do it. We'll just do it A-team style, Jesse. Remember, they'd always break Murdoch out.
Oh yeah.
We'll figure out something.
yeah, I even have some pain pills I've saved just for that occasion. For one really special occasion, and by golly, that's going to be it. I hope I have to get to the point where I'm just on the verge of La La Land for him to work. But so if you see me out there kind of staggering around, well, you'll know why.
Well, at that point, they probably won't be able to tell you apart from me.
Well, at that point, you can just call me Inmate 420 and forget about calling me Mike.
Right.
In fact, 420 may go instead of me anyway. If you see an old fat guy there and and orange coveralls, that's probably him.
Aha. So it's safe to say that Mike is definitely planning on hunting this year.
Well, that's good. I always enjoyed Mike's company. We've hunted together, well, outside of club events, probably about 3 times, I think, and then run into each other a few times at the events. So it's always a good time. Mike's a good guy.
We've been out with on a private hunt too a couple of times. I mean, you and your son and Rich Herder.
Yeah, that's what I meant outside of the
school.
club.
Yeah, outside of a club, right? So
there you go.
And
I had the cops called us on once, even though we were okay to be there.
Yeah, that's just. I'm just kind of used to that. You know, I live in the city here, so anytime I'm out curb hunting, even if I'm just hunting a curb alongside a park, you know, I may have the cops called on me.
Right.
I called with a purpose.
Oh?
I actually, you know, you talked about taking care of the equipment, and I wanted to make a mention of taking care of the digging equipment. Because it takes a little bit special care compared to your electronics equipment. You know, you need to clean it off and probably oil it. If not,
absolutely,
you may want to be sharpening some of your tools too.
Right. Yeah, I had mentioned oiling it, and you're right. For some people, depending on the environment they're in, they may want to give that edge some attention and, you know, do a little bit of sharpening, hit it with the stone or the sandpaper or whatever to get that edge nice and sharp again. Usually, the environments that I'm digging in, it kind of self-sharpens, I guess you could say.
I want one of those digging tools.
Well, it's more the environment than the tool.
Yeah, I try to list the different types of soil just here within the city limits, and there's been so much different types of fill for different reasons. For instance, in the early 1900s here in Springfield, there's whole sections of town which were artificially elevated above the water table to make them more susceptible to housing. So you may go through 2 or 3 inches of soil and find you have a foot or 2 of cinders, coal cinders.
Right.
But there's sandy patches, clay patches, patches of loam, and of course this is a Midwest, so when the glacier came through, there's loess over the entire area. That's why the Midwest is such a good farming area, because of all the ground up soil and dust thrown up into the air and settled over the Midwest after the entrance of the glaciation.
Right.
So
and you see that a lot here too. I mean, and they'll change rapidly. You can have one soil type in one yard and go to next door to hunt that yard and be in a completely different soil type.
Exactly. And then I love the places where lots where used to be homesteading, because you may have had, if you're lucky, they had a concrete driveway that they pulled up. That's great. But a lot of them, they just had gravel or white rock driveways. Those are really hard to dig.
Yeah, they can be. They can definitely be. And it's always such a kick in the teeth, too. You do all that hard digging to get down to that signal that sounds so great, and find out that it's a flattened out beer can or something from the previous occupants.
I wasn't going to go into the gory details. It's too bloody.
Right. Not that there aren't good finds to be made too, but man, some of them cans ring up wonderful.
They seem a lot fewer and further between whenever you have to dig through layers of rock and rubble.
Yeah. Yeah, or you find after the first half dozen of them, you start to become a little more selective with your target sizing.
The other thing I wanted to mention is about the electronics. Now, whenever I see that the weather is going to be below freezing, into the 20s on a regular basis, I remove all my electronics, handheld electronics, from my car. And the reason being is that most metal detectors use what's called commercial grade electronic components. Commercial grade electronic components are guaranteed to operate so many thousands of hours within a given temperature range. And that temperature range is normally 0 to 70 degrees centigrade. So that's freezing up to 158 degrees Fahrenheit.
Right.
Now,
and for those that actually read their manuals when they get a machine, they'll see that stated right in the manual.
So, also in the heat of the summer, when it's getting up over 80 degrees, it's probably a good idea to start taking your equipment out of the car, because it can get to be in excess of 400 degrees in the trunk.
Yeah, very good point. Usually it's not a good thing to leave it lay on the back seat or something like that with the sun beating through the window all day while you're at work waiting to go hunt, or even in the trunk.
Now, that's not to say that if you do that once or twice, you're going to pull your detector out and it's going to be dead. Right. No, it doesn't mean that. Because the way electronics works, it may degrade the component. So that, say, instead of lasting 30 years, you get 5 years of more use out of it. Or
you may not pull
15,
it out right then and it not work anymore, but you are definitely stressing the limits of the limitations of the circuitry.
Well, it certainly stressed my life expectancy if you heated me up a lot.
Well, I can guarantee you this cold, definitely the cold and the extreme hot, either one stresses my life expectancy.
Oh, yeah, I noticed it was 5 below zero wind chill this morning here.
Yeah, that's what it was here, too. Wasn't a very good thing to wake up to.
Oh, ours was minus 25 last night.
Ooh, I'm glad I slept through here.
No, I take that back. About 6 o'clock this morning, we were at almost 10 below with the wind chill. But we're setting, well, when we went live, I think with the wind chill, we're still somewhere around 6 below or something. That's probably dropped since we went live. But that's the way it goes.
The joys of winter. Yes, if we don't like the weather, we need to move somewhere else.
Yeah, just not to Orlando Wednesday.
No, not to Orlando. No.
I mean, like I said, if it's getting down to 17 in Orlando Wednesday, Mark's breaking out his emergency stick of firewood.
Yeah, I didn't think people think about this, but most of the homes in Florida, they don't even install furnaces when they're built.
Yeah, a lot of them just use electric heaters, electric blankets, stuff like that. Their air conditioning is more of a necessity than heat.
Yeah, I went and visited some friends, and they had like 45, 50-degree weather. They had no way of making heat in their house other than turn on their electric oven or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just they're not prepared for it, Heaven forbid they should have an inch of snow.
Well, and there again, yeah, I mean, it's, I guess it's more cost effective, basically, just to not have it, use an electric heater or electric blanket or whatever, than to shell out the money to have that capability on hand when you may only use it once or twice a year.
I find that I remember going online once and seeing the National Weather Channel saying there was a terrible snowstorm in Texas. and there was basically a powder of snow blowing across the highway, and you see state troopers' car sliding off the road. They closed the schools. Up here we're laughing at them, right?
And they will. They will shut down the state because they don't have the equipment to deal with it.
That's right. And then, but if you go up to Canada, and if Canadians are listening to us talking, complaining about 5 below, 10 below, 20 below, they're the ones laughing at us.
Right, they're all laughing at us, going, "Yep, that's why we keep them on the other side of the border."
Oh, we have 30 below here on a regular basis. What are they complaining about? We get 25 inches of snow at one time.
Yeah, or even people in, say, the New York area. They're going, "Oh, they're complaining about a couple of inches. Our last snowstorm, we got 2 feet."
Plus, we had a northerner after that.
Right.
Yeah, so it's just the nature of the beast. Go where, if you don't like the weather, you're going to have to go where you like the weather, because the weather's not going to change much.
Yeah, unfortunately, though, it's all full of handoffs. I mean, you could go to Florida, but then you get to deal with hurricane season, too.
Oh, yes.
So, what do you do? I mean, out there in Illinois, you get the tornadoes and earthquakes and floods.
And you move to the tropics to have sunshine all year, and what do you get? Typhoons.
Rain.
20 times a year.
Right, yeah, it seems like it rains more days than it doesn't.
Well, I didn't mean to be on so long, but I looking forward to this summer with the I&I. The I&I group, those people are great anyway.
Yes, they
you'll
are.
have a fun time. You'll have a fun time with them and a very warm reception, because they're just a really great group. I've been a member of many groups, and I'll drive up 3 hours one way to go to a meeting occasionally. And I don't do that because the group's full of wormy apples,
Right. Do it for the good people. Get to put names to faces and have some great conversations with everybody.
That's right. That's the number one most enjoyable thing about the hobby. So, looking forward to seeing people there. Looking forward to seeing you again, Josh. This time hope I get to talk to you.
Right, yeah. Well, it shouldn't be too
Jesse?
hard. I'm moving a little slower now. I'm sure Jesse can definitely point me out and hold me at bay or something, so I don't get moving too fast away.
Yeah, well, that's good, because I'm moving slower too.
I did tell him I was more than happy to help out and do what I can if he needed a hand or anything, but as long as it doesn't require a whole lot of fast moving, I'll be okay.
I don't have to.
So,
Inmate 420.
we look forward to seeing you, Mike. Yeah, it's been a while.
Inmate 420 told me to say he might bring some extra straitjackets to make honorary members for the asylum, membership to the asylum. But we'll see what happens. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you again too, Jesse. So you guys take care and have a great night, great show, and I'll sign off here.
Well, and definitely good to hear from you, Mike.
I'll go ahead and back out as well, but did you mention there was somebody named Manuel that tells you how to run your detector? Something about if you look at your Manuel, he'd tell you the operating range of the temperatures. I don't have a Manuel.
Yeah. Of course, then again, I hear that, and this is crazy. I mean, the day and age that we're in, I guess now some of these machines that people are purchasing do not come with those.
Oh, you got to download it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Which doesn't make much sense to me. I mean, let's face it. If you're going to pay, say, $750, $850 for a machine, I'm sure it's not going to break the manufacturer up to print a copy of the manual so that you can have it if you choose to read it.
Right.
But, what do I know?
They don't have to print it in 7 languages.
That's probably the case right there. You do have a good point. This way people can download it in whatever dialect they would like.
Right. Well, it was a pleasure talking to you, and hopefully I'll get a chance to talk to you Wednesday. I think we might have a softball practice, though.
Ah, okay. Well, either way, I'll probably have to get in contact with you sometime over the next few days to let you know what those items were that I have had put back for the I&I hunt. Because I know when Chuck had mentioned to me last summer that they were bringing back the I&I hunt, I had mentioned to him then that I still had a couple items here that would probably work very well as prizes. I brought one of them along the last time, and I knew I had one more here on hand, so it's only right it should go along. All
right. Well, hopefully I'm the one that wins that, because I wanted one bad.
Well, you never know. I don't know. I mean, you're the hunt master, so I guess you're the guy in charge of figuring out how to get that done.
All righty. Well, I'll talk to you sometime this week. I'll get out and let somebody else get on if they want, and you have a good night, sir.
You too. Stay warm, buddy. All right. Well, so great calls from Chuck and Jesse and Mike. Definitely good to hear from Mike. He had some viable points there as well on the equipment maintenance. A little bit of an update on what we've got to share at the current point for the I&I hunt. More information will be dropping, the way it sounds, as early as tomorrow. So if you're not a member of the I&I Treasure Hunters group, you may want to go check them out on Facebook. That's Illinois and Iowa Treasure Hunters. And then, like I said, as that information becomes available, just like past events, we will be sharing that information here. We will give all the floor time needed for Chuck or Jesse to discuss, promote, and inform people on the upcoming I&I hunt. It's going to be a great time. Obviously, it just seems to get better and better and better every time. And I'm sure that this year will be no exception. I hope it's going to be the best one yet, but there comes a point where you kind of look and go, how can we top this? But so far, they're still doing a great job, which is awesome. We love to see it. Continued success to Chuck, Jesse, and obviously everybody behind the scenes there at the I&I hunt. They do put on a very, very good event. I cannot say enough good things about the I&I hunt and the people that are behind the event. So, with them backing out of here, I think I'm going to back out of here as well. It is a little on the chilly side in the studio. Glad I've got that Detectors hoodie. They definitely work. Check and get yours if you haven't already. It's a great time of the year to have them. Until the next one, though, we're going to roll on out of here. If you enjoyed the show, make sure and throw us a like. You can follow us here on Spreaker, Facebook, the iTunes, iHearts, other podcast distribution services. We're out there all over the place. Who knows? Half the time, I don't even know where all we're at. In the meantime, check out our friends at Shooters and Prospectors, DETECTEES.com, TheRingFinders, Brute Magnetics, Ohio Metal Detecting, All Metal Militia, XP Team USA, Detected, Outdoors, Metal Detecting NYC, and don't forget and check out the link for the Simplex raffle as well. Wednesday, I believe that we are back and discussing the find of a GW button. Imagine that. I mean, they pulled it out of the ground and then absolutely flipped out when they saw what they had. and they'll be sharing the story with us Wednesday, I believe. So until the next one, have a wonderful evening, folks. We're out of here.